Greetings, people of tomorrow. Hello, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Yang Iwan, entrusted as the Director of Membership and Development for Membership AMSA International 2023-2024. First of all, welcome to the first series of the AMSA International Podcast with the topic of AMSA International 101. As an AMSA member, you might be wondering about AMSA International, right? And how we will maximize our potential in AMSA, especially in AMSA International. So, without further ado, let's welcome our esteemed speaker, Sheng Tan, aka the overall chairperson of AMSA International 2023-2024. Hi, Sheng Yu.
Hi, Ewan.
Okay, how are you today?
Um, I'm doing fine. Yeah.
Okay, so before we move on to the questions, can you introduce yourself first?
All right. So, hi everyone. My name is Shen Yu. So, I'm a fourth year medical student from Monash University, Malaysia, and currently doing Bachelor of Medical Science as well as Doctor of Medicine.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's start our question. For the first one, how was your experience as the overall chairperson so far?
Mm, well, I think I've been the overall chairperson for about 4 months now, 4 to 5 months, and the experience so far has been great. There has been ups and downs, but typically the ups and downs are something that I believe it is necessary, not just for me to grow personally, but for everyone to grow. And yeah, it's a good experience for now.
Yeah, of course. And how about the workload for overall chairperson? Is it hard for you?
In a way, the workload, if we were to actually compare to the constitution wise, other than just supervising, there's nothing much. However, I like to put myself uh, to actually do extra in a way to actually help with our members as well. So here and there have been works that have to be done. Uh, Other than what was stated in the constitution. And even though it's a lot, but I would say it's still manageable. Yeah. This is because actually I focus solely on AMSA International and I did not actually join much of the other. I mean, I do join other associations, but not as a committee, just as a normal member.
Oh, okay, that's really great. Then, what do you think we should join AMSA as a medical student itself?
All right. So in a way, AMSA actually focuses on the three virtues of AMSA International, which is knowledge, action, and friendship. So typically, most traditional, I would actually say, in the style of a very long traditional kind of medical students, to actually focus on their studies only. And joining AMSA actually provide you with uh, opportunities to actually develop yourself, to actually grow internally. And through these events, you get to actually make friends from all over the world. You get to actually experience the global health issues that seems to not play much role in a public setting. However, it actually aids in your mindset, aids in your knowledge of things, how was going on. And someone will bring up your uh awareness on how things are actually happening in the world. And probably it will actually encourage you to actually do more later on when you actually graduate. So joining AMSA is one particular reason is to actually develop and grow yourself in a multidisciplinary area, just other than just focusing on academics.
Yeah, I agree with you because I think being a medical student and only study all the time, I think it's kind of boring. And if we join AMSA, got to experience a lot of activities, especially when you join and in AMSA International subsidiaries activities, like we got to learn more about something outside of medical student things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, maybe what are the benefits you have received from joining AMSA?
Okay, before talking about what are the benefits, actually, I would like to encourage students not just AMSA itself, but to actually join as much as not as much, but join at least one or two extracurricular activities. If AMSA is not your choice, because probably there's other choices like FMSA or any relevant uh, medical student associations. So when it comes to benefit, I would like to relate back to how I actually get started with AMSA. So actually, I was a COVID batch. So my first year is where I started my first year of medical education in COVID, lockdown. And I was actually being exposed to AMSA through groups our cohort groups where they actually share about AMSA. And since then I started. So um coming from Monash, actually we do have AMSA Monash. However, when I first started in year one, there isn't a specific club or what it wasn't actually registered as a club, so there isn't specific bodies where we can actually join. So when we proceed to year two, they started AMSA club. They started registering for the club, right? And I started as the year two representative of AMSA Monash. And from there, actually, I would say it was a very good experience I'm having. I was able to actually get to interact with people a lot, get to actually work with people. In a way, it actually, the more you work with people, the more experience you gain. And it will actually train you to be more flexible in a way. Because there are things that we actually can't force people to do. That's the nature of working with people of other backgrounds or perhaps people that is different from you. Yeah, in a way, one of the benefits is definitely to actually help me to grow as a person, to be more flexible. And later on, when I actually become the proceeding to year three, if I'm not mistaken, I become national director of AMSA. And through that, it was actually a step up. So being the national director of AMSA, other than just managing the AMSA subsidiary in AMSA Malaysia itself, the benefit is I get to make new friends. And this friend has actually grew particularly close to me where we can actually talk about literally anything. And working as a national director of AMSA, most of the time, they will actually focus just on the AMSA subsidiary. However, I do actually take the chance to actually involve myself in other subsidiary, for example, the Global Health subsidiary, and later on to actually become the chief delegates of AMSI 2022 to South Korea. And through that, the benefit is definitely to actually allow me to gain a more perspective on how people work, on how different people can be, and to actually it actually gives me an extra experience that will later on in the day that I actually realize that it helps me to be more understanding towards other, to actually think of to think about things that is from a different perspective. Yeah, and later on proceed as a international DM set, the more people that I come across, uh, the more experience I gain, and it actually aids my thinking as well as to actually bring closer to get more friends. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of benefits from joining AMSA, right? And I agree with you that you can learn a lot and get a lot of new friends from joining AMSA. So, according to you, what is the best experience you have ever felt during your duties as OC, especially you're in your fourth year, right, as a medical student?
Yeah. The best experience I ever felt during my duties as the OC is typically I was being told that I wasn't the traditional kind of OC where I'm always where they always tend to be serious. But for me, I always it is actually necessary to actually be serious when it's necessary, not just throughout the time. Uh, something that was very funny was I was very afraid to go to AMSI in Taiwan 2023 as OC because I was scared that people actually think that, hey, he's the overall chairperson. He may be intimidating. That was the one thing that I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that of being left out. However, I'm not sure how or why, or probably it's because that I don't act serious. I don't have a typical intimidating leader attitude out of meetings and all that I do gain a lot of experience. I was playing around. I get to make new friends. People actually get interested and so on. And it was actually a very funny experience because I was very very afraid of that. And that was one of the experience. And through AMSI, because I actually started my role as OC officially in AMSI, uh, I get to make very close friends with whom I share my deeper secret with, my insecurities, and perhaps also actually manage on how things should actually go on. Um, Glad enough to say actually during AMSI there isn't any major things happening. Just that that was actually a very best experience. And later on when we proceed, there are things that was coming up. And I actually like how the executive committee currently is actually working very, very hard. They actually, I will actually kudos Daniel, kudos to actually the senior officers. If I can name all of you, actually, I would like to name. Uh, they actually do things without being told they know what to do. That is something that actually is a relief. And I like also how we actually comes together as a team to openly discuss about things that we don't agree with and later on to come up with a plan. So it was a very, very healthy working environment. And that is also something that I want to uh, implement or that I want to encourage, not just in AMSA itself, but to uh, for anything that our ECs are being involved with to actually have a healthy working environment.
Wow, okay, I think that's a really great experience from you. And from what I have experienced too as a medical student, I think honesty is like the best thing I've ever felt too, because I get to know a lot of people, especially from a lot of country. And also for my this is like my fourth year in AMSA too. And I think it's a really great environment to work with. Yes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the most important things that AMSA members should take note of, sorry, especially for those who want to be more active in AMSA?
All right. The most important things that AMSA members should take out of uh to be more active in AMSA. It's kind of tricky because certain people actually join AMSA just to to have the opportunities, but some of them may not be interested. I would actually say do give it a try. To actually just go for any AMSA activities that you like. We have a bunch of activities present, from conferences to exchange program to even currently a new program coming out is the outreach program. And sooner or later there'll be more activities coming up, ranging from academics, and probably we'll be starting a joint research, basically involving people from different AMSA chapter members. And yeah, the main primary things that you have to take up is just put yourself out, just try it, because if you don't try it, you don't know if you love it. Even if you don't, it's okay. At least you try, at least you get to experience. And um particularly not just in AMSA itself, I've actually encouraged our medical students to actually get involved in other medical student association. Even if AMSA is not your choice, I will actually you can go to other medical associations, because to me, I believe it is not about the amount of members that are having. My primary aim to become the overall chairperson is actually so that everyone can actually grow internally, not just through AMSA. If you are able to actually grow through other organizations, you are glad to do so. So yeah, just do try it out. Yeah.
Okay, and for everyone who is listening to the podcast, I hope you all take note of everything that Sheng Yu has said, because I think it's really important for every one of you to take the courage to try everything, right, as a medical student, because you only become a medical student for like 5 to 6 years, and you will become a doctor and have like a full-time job and don't get the chance to try everything you can. Okay, so for the next question, how important are targets and goals while becoming an AMSA member?
Yeah. Okay. Speaking about the targets and goals, I think I've been emphasizing on a lot about this throughout the podcast. Is basically as an opportunity for you to grow. So that was one of the targets and goals that is very, very important, not just becoming AMSA member, but in general. Um, as a person, as a medical students, as a healthcare professionals, because in a way it is through learning that you grow. So I believe in the quote, and also it is a part of Monash quote. It's actually Ancora Imparo, which means I am still learning. It is one of the quote by Michael D'Angelo. So do make sure that you take any opportunities to learn, to grow seriously. And yeah, that was the most important targets and goal of becoming an AMSA member, aside from being involved with knowledge, action, and friendship activities.
Okay, that's really great. And I really agree with you how important it is, right? Okay, so for the last questions and maybe something to motivate the members, would you like to give some message or words of encouragement to all AMSA members?
All right. Okay. So to all AMSA members, regardless international, nationally, or locally, do not be afraid if you are just involved in small activities. Do take things at your own pace and do be involved in activities that you're comfortable with. Even if you don't, at least you try a little, start locally. It regardless whether you're involved with international activities, national activities, or even in local activities, there's no wrong or right in this. There is actually, as long as you're involved and you enjoy and you feel like you do gain things that are uh not present in yourself previously, I would actually say just keep it up. Do not be pressured when you see your friends they are in applying in any national boards, any local boards. Yeah. So uh do make sure that at least you try, at least that you get involved because I do come one of my friends do come to me and ask me, I'm currently in year four, so I'm graduating next year. So what should I do? What should I do to actually get involved? So the same thing I was actually said, don't be worried about reaching any national heights or any high post that you are thinking of. Getting involved doesn't mean that you have to be involved until the highest level. Getting involved means you join locally because even through locally, you're able to make a difference. Take, for example, in a subsidiary that I was involved for two tenures, basically AMSA itself, without our local board involvements, there basically won't be any exchanges happening. Even if there is, it may be very, very hard for the nationals or the internationals to just coordinate uh, for the exchange to happen locally. Yeah.
Okay, that's a really great message and words of encouragement. And I really think that AMSA has offered a lot of opportunities or golden opportunities to every one of you, either locally, nationally, and internationally. So for every one of you who are listening to this podcast, yes, you have to try a lot of things because I'm so like a field of trial and error, and you can get to explore what you can do as a medical student. So thank you so much, Sheng. It's really great to have you, and I'll
Thank
learn
you.
a lot from you today. Okay, hopefully with this podcast, every listener here will also learn more about AMSA International and participate actively in AMSA. So thank you once again, Sheng.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, see you everyone. Viva AMSA.